the very fact that it was the safest Democrats too, like John Ossoff going back and forth on the yes, no vote and having 8 senators that are either, John Fetterman, who's in his own unique space, or have no primary threat until 2028 or 2030 means that the Democrats did this on purpose. Like this was organized. All right.
My name is Jon Stewart. We've got an unbelievable show. We're going to be joined out here, as Veterans Day is coming up, by Representatives Chris Deluzio and Pat Ryan, co-chairs of the Democratic Veterans Caucus. They'll be out here in a little bit. Why not? They'll be showing us how to make their favorite dishes for Veterans Day.
What is Hasan's take on Fetterman? Monster. Ogre. Horrible. Just awful.
Let's start tonight's show with the big news out of Washington on the shutdown. By the way, tonight's show will be brought to you by I Can't F***ing Believe It. I can't f***ing believe it. For when the I can't believe it Edvard Munch scream emoji doesn't quite convey how much you cannot f***ing believe it. And what, you ask, is it? Well, it is the Democrats. You remember the Democrats. They shut down the government last month for a very particular reason.
Any deal must secure the extension of the ACA tax credits.
This is about my party saying enough is enough.
Democrats will not back down.
Do not stop fighting.
We're in this fight until we win this fight because we know we're on the right side of this fight.
It's literally life or death. So Democrats have 3 words for this. No way.
He's so hot. He's so cool.
Well, funny story. Yes, Charles Schumer's 3 words were no match for these 5 other words.
Democrats cave on the shutdown.
Excuse me? Cave on the shutdown? Huh? Not this forceful, young, authentic Democratic Party that hangs out down by the river. And curses in what appears to be a cerulean blue blazer. And I say, no way. No, they caved on the shutdown. Not even a full week removed from the best election night results they've had in years. 7 Democratic senators voted with their Republican counterparts to end the shutdown and reopen the government. And did they get their extended health care subsidies?
Democrats wanted the deal to include extending subsidies for the Affordable Care Act. Instead, they got a promise to vote on it at a later date.
I cannot f***ing believe it! You had the wind at your back. Election victories all over the country. The new Sydney Sweeney movie, box office bupkis.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, woke is back. What a great way to see that woke is so back that if you try to win favors with an anti-woke position, you kind of get cooked. Woke is back, baby. Woke is so back. Everybody was like, yeah, we're not with this whole American Eagle jeans nonsense and how you moved around. Yeah, put the pronouns in the bag. Put the pronouns back in the bio, baby.
Apparently, why her new MAGA fan base didn't show up in droves to see a biopic about a lesbian professional boxer who overcomes domestic violence to live her truth. Who could have seen that coming? Democrats, you sold out the entire shutdown not to get what you wanted, but for a promise to not get what you wanted later. Where in the art of war? Hold on. Where in the art of, okay, here it is. I got it. Sun Tzu said, never press your advantage. It's unseemly. Fighting's hard. How about a snack?
Always give up right at the precipice of glory, because otherwise you could potentially win, and that's very scary. Right as you are at the precipice of victory, surrender. Famously, this is the method. This is what you're supposed to do, chat.
What good does a promise of a Senate vote even do for you, Democrats? You don't control the Senate. Do you even know how this shit works? Let's just say, for schnicks, that you managed to win a vote in the Senate, which you haven't done all year. Do you know what happens then? Give me. Hold on 1 second. Give me the thing. I want to show you.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill.
What? I can't stay mad at Bill.
Yo.
But the point is this. Let's just say, you pass a bill out of the Senate that you don't control as Democrats. Guess what happens then?
500.
Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
I don't know what you left it on with the
Representatives.
You left it on with the shutter speed? Yeah, the shutter speed. I tried to fix it. Oh, okay. Well, it was cooked. No, I couldn't because I didn't want to. No, it's still flickering. The lights are flickering behind. Chatters were going crazy over it. In any case, all right. So, chat, we're gonna go to the Forbidden City. No, it's not Will Neff. It's Marchie Poo. What? We're not leaving yet, but we are going to in a little bit. I think in like half an hour. We're gonna break this down. We're gonna break this setup down. We're gonna swap over. Did you charge the batteries? Oh, okay. It's in the green bag. The charger is in the green bag. Yeah. Also, that red bag is yours from Tiananmen Square, I think. But in half an hour, we are going to. I already packed everything. That's why I was late. But we are going. It's on top of the black bag. In half an hour, we're gonna start breaking down this setup. This is the last remaining thing that's like still not packed, and we're gonna put all of our stuff in our car, and we're gonna go to Tiananmen Square again, to the Forbidden City, and we're gonna do an IRL stream from Tiananmen Square at the Forbidden City, and it's gonna be very exciting. I'm very excited about it, and then after that, we're gonna get on a maglev. Well, not a maglev, but a bullet train. But you're gonna miss the PlayStation thingy. Please stop. Please stop trying to be annoying. It's not. Please. I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited to see the Forbidden City, and I'm also very excited to be on a Chinese bullet train. And you guys are in here just being like, oh, when will you watch the PlayStation event? Or why won't you play video games? Why won't you play Dispatch? What's the difference between maglev and bullet? China has maglev is magnetic levitation, I think, right? It's much faster. It's like 450 kilometers as opposed to like the bullet train is around 350 kilometers max speed. And it's incredible. It's a different technology. It's a newer technology. It's levitating. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 7 is good, I think. And all right. How the fuck do magnets work though? Bro, I don't even understand. It feels like magic. Weren't you on a Chinese TV station yesterday? How did that go? It went great. Yeah, I was on CGTN. Where are you heading to using the maglev train? We're not doing maglev. We're doing bullet train. I'm going to Shanghai. We are going to be traveling from Beijing to Shanghai today. It's a travel day for us. And it's actually a 6-hour train ride, which is pretty crazy because it's going to be, I'm very excited. I mean, China's massive, right? China is so massive. And I'm not going to be streaming the entire time on the train. And I think that there's going to be issues streaming on the train anyway. But like, we're allowed to do it, but it's just like, because it goes through like rural areas, it's very, very difficult to like have, it's very difficult to have consistent bandwidth. But we will vlog it. I'm pretty sure Speed did it as well. And we'll order food. We'll order food and have like little robots bring the food, because that's what you're supposed, that like you can do that. Robots bring food to your location. It's pretty crazy. All right, let's keep going.
But they don't vote on it because Democrats don't control the House of Representatives either. But let's live in your 8-senator fantasy land, and you do. Let's say you somehow convince old Cowlick McBabyface to hold that House of Representatives vote, and you win that one as well. Guess what happens then?
Well, then I'm off to the White House where I wait in a line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign.
The president. Yeah. You get it past the Senate, you get it past the House, and then the president of the United States. Right? You remember him? This guy?
Obamacare is a disaster.
Yeah, that f***ing guy. The Obamacare is a disaster guy. The guy who spent the weekend posting about how Barack Obama is collecting millions of dollars in royalties from Obamacare, a fact that Trump picked up from an 8-year-old satire article. Oh. Democrats, you gave up the only leverage you had without getting commitments from Trump.
Dude, I can't. We gave the nuclear football to a fucking moron. I cannot stress this enough. The Democrats lost to this guy, bro. Like, it's super basic. It's so embarrassing. Twice, man. Twice. After seeing what he did the last time around, all it took was 4 years for people's memories to be wiped.
Or Mike Johnson. I cannot f***ing believe it. Surely someone in the party understands that offering a vote in the Senate without a commitment that it would pass or that the House would even take it up is an empty offer.
Offering a vote in the Senate without a commitment that it would pass, without a commitment that the House would even take it up is an empty offer.
This guy gets it. Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine. You don't see him as one of the 8 voting yes.
Virginia Senator Tim Kaine was a yes.
I can't believe it! And for what? There's got to be someone in this party who understands what's at stake with these expiring subsidies. Senator Jeanne Shaheen.
I had a meeting with some constituents last Friday when I was in New Hampshire. One was a man. He said, if I didn't have that insurance through the Affordable Care Act, I would not have gone to the doctor. I would not have gotten my cancer treated, and I would be dead by now. That's what this fight is about.
Now that's somebody who's not going to roll over. That is somebody who has the moral clarity.
This stuff is really good because I'm preaching to the freaking choir when I say this, right? I'm preaching to the choir, and unfortunately, a lot of liberals have hate in their hearts for someone like myself because of this, because I've been saying this for years and years at a time when many liberals actually believed in the party, right? And thought that I was being too heavy-handed in my criticisms. But I'm glad that Jon Stewart is doing this because, you know, I'll take it from anywhere I can. Okay? Whether it be Jon Stewart, whether it be the Pod Johns, whether it be MSNBC, like wherever I hear this, this is good. Because this is a radicalizing moment for a lot of wine moms, for a lot of the regular, straight, blue ticket voters. Okay? The very fact that it was the safest Democrats too, like John Ossoff going back and forth on the yes, no vote and having 8 senators that are either, you know, John Fetterman, who's in his own unique space, or have no primary threat until 2028 or 2030 means that the Democrats did this on purpose. Like this was organized. It just wasn't organized in the direction of fighting against the Republicans. So it sounds crazy when I explain it this way, but this is a fantastic opportunity that we must seize upon to explain to people the rotating villain structure that exists in the Democratic Party. Okay? You got retiring senators like Dick Durbin. You got senators that don't have any primaries coming up until 2028. Those were the ones who actually voted for a reopening of the government without extracting any concessions after 40 days. 40 days.
She voted yes, didn't she?
Jane Shaheen decided to vote yes.
That was the most weirdly coordinated boo. Not only was it coordinated, here was the most beautiful part about that boo. It started at a low timbre, and then it grew, and then a staccato. Gene Shaheen. And you know what she did that's almost worse? After a month of standing on principle because of the needs of her constituents, she now uses those same constituents as her cover for cowardice.
When I talk to my constituents,
Yeah, it just means nothing. Like, this is exactly what people hate about politics in America. It's just theater. It's nothing. You are unprincipled. You never cared. You never cared at all. This is exactly what people despise about American politics. Not just on the Democratic Party front, on the Republican Party side as well. But like, this is exceptionally bad for the Democrats because at least the Republicans can like lean into culture war narratives and whip up panic and galvanize the base, even offer them some treats, offer them some red meat to pay their attention, to reshift their priorities over to, like whether it be vulnerable populations like trans people, whether it be undocumented immigrants, stuff like that. The Democrats don't even have that. They constantly find themselves in a defensive posture against the faucet of misinformation coming from the Republican side, and they're absolutely unable to even offer basic levels of defense for some of these most marginalized populations, some of the most vulnerable groups in the country. And they just look weak. They look weak and cowardly. And it's precisely because of stuff like this, where they just give up on this fight, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. This kind of shit makes you look phony and fake to the average person. The average person looks at this stuff and goes, oh, come on, man. Again? Really? Like, I thought for once you guys were going to actually show Trump what's up. You were going to save the ACA subsidies so that my healthcare costs didn't fucking triple. My premiums didn't triple. And instead, they just gave up. They gave up on their own Band-Aid. This is not my policy. I'm not a big fan of the ACA, right? I recognize that due to that same exact like machine politics, ruining, watering down, diluting, or absolutely destroying any sort of opportunity in the more positive vision of working towards socialized healthcare, the ACA was a setback, unfortunately, especially because it did not accompany the public option. A public option opt-in would have actually still been fairly difficult to accomplish or move towards like actual fully nationalized healthcare, fully socialized system, but it would be much better. It would be defendable. It would be much better. It would be a government competitor that could actually normalize prices on the private sector side. And that was also destroyed by the fucking same rotating villain structure within the Democratic Party at the time. It was a filibuster-proof majority that Obama had, with the exception of Joe fucking Lieberman. Okay? And they got cooked. But now, because the material conditions have deteriorated so far and politics has deteriorated to this degree that the Democrats can't even fucking defend their own policies. And you got people like me, socialists, leftists, yelling at the Democrats to actually fucking stand firm and defend ACA subsidies, a Band-Aid solution to a gaping wound. And they can't even do that. They can't even do that. If you can't even defend your liberal ass position, what the fuck can we expect from you? This is your policy. If you're an establishment Democrat, this is what you love. This is Obama's legacy domestic agenda item, right? This is his legacy on the domestic policy front. And it was genuinely impactful. It was genuinely positive for tens of millions of Americans, okay? Especially those with pre-existing conditions. It was huge. The provisions that people love about Obama is obviously coverage, forced coverage for people with pre-existing conditions, something that was so cruel and so unique in the previous deregulated structure that people don't even believe that insurance providers would normally deny you healthcare coverage if you had a pre-existing condition. That's how cruel it is, that most people don't even realize that. That was the norm. And the Republicans fought back against it tooth and nail. Okay? The fact that you could stay under your parents' healthcare until the age of 26, that was good, right? Medicaid was good, offering, you know, there's still a benefits cliff, and that sucks, but at least like there was more help for the working poor in terms of being able to get healthcare. That was good. It was all the socialization initiatives within the ACA, Obamacare, that people liked, but it was still very much a subsidy structure because Democrats can only operate with the private-public partnership structure. You know?
I'm sure. You know what they say to me? They say, why can't you all just work together to address the problems that are facing this country?
Really? Even the cancer guy? He's saying that now? That's not what he was saying before, but now he's like, look, what I said earlier about wanting to live, I didn't know that the alternative was a spirit of bipartisan cooperation. I was just thinking, I want lungs. And by the way, doing exactly what the Republicans wanted isn't working together. That's not working together. That's just doing what, Mr. Sawyer and I worked together to paint this fence. No! He made you paint it! And then he just jumped in at the end and was like, we can't free Jim, it's not bipartisan. Yeah, that's what happened. You don't remember the book? That's what happened. I didn't remember it either, but one of the writers. And you might be wondering to yourself there, well, where's Democratic leader? Mr. No way Chuck Schumer during all this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he is on your social feeds. Glasses in the ready position, putting on a show.
Democrats have been fighting to get the Senate to address the health care crisis. This bill does nothing to ensure that that crisis is addressed. I am voting no, and I will keep fighting.
I don't believe this. And I mean that now literally. Chuck Schumer, your protestation be not believable. Look, either all 8 senators who voted to capitulate coincidentally are not up for re-election in 2026, or Chuck Schumer worked behind the scenes to give into the Republicans while still protecting vulnerable Democrats, including himself. You know, that's right. You know, humorously, after the election, I mentioned to a couple of political analysts in the after.
Tim Kaine straight up admitted they're just the fall guys. Yeah. Kaine said that while only 8 Ds voted with the Republicans, more wanted to see the shutdown. And I can tell you this. There were a lot more than 8 that were really happy that the 8 of us voted them the way that we did. But I'm not going to put words in anybody's mouth. We know they should just name names so we can just out them and we can rid ourselves of these weak, feckless, institutional Democrats. We must do away with the uniparty. It is ridiculous. Nobody wants this, okay? Nobody wants this. Ay, ay, ay. The very fact that the whip of the minority leader, Dick Durbin, was the one who ended up voting no implies that some more American brain, I don't want to touch that. I just ban them and move on. All right. The very fact that Dick Durbin was the one who voted in this direction shows you where the party is, at least on the Senate side. Because under normal circumstances, his role is to quite literally whip people to stay strong and steadfast and hold the fucking line.
It doesn't seem like some of the party is just angry about this. It seems like this is ripping the party apart at a time where it felt like the party was coming back together post-elections. How do you convince your fellow Democrats to stay together on this? And how do you convince voters across the country to believe in the Democrats again?
Can I just say,
go ahead.
Tim Kaine in the membrane, Tim Kaine in the brain, baby.
Can I just say, ripping the party apart? I think you're over-dramatizing this. I mean, I know the news business is to try to make everything like the biggest crisis since
let me
the Cuban Missile Crisis or something.
Don't say it's me.
There's differences of opinion.
I will quote your fellow Democrats. Gavin Newsom calls it pathetic. Hakeem Jeffries, complete BS. AOC says this is not about a base of voters. This is about
Katie,
about people's lives. Chris Murphy says it makes Donald Trump stronger. This is a moment that demands fighters, not folders. I mean, this is me quoting Democrats. I'm not making things up.
Right.
You know, it's reading what people are saying and reporting it.
I know it. And you would have said this, you could have read the same quotes last month, a month ago. Will Rogers, 100 years ago. I don't believe in organized politics. That's why I'm a Democrat. We're a big tent. We have different points of view. I've been doing this for 31 years. This is by far, a minor league issue within the Democratic Party. We're going to unify around having the health care fight within a month. And people are going to see where Democrats are and see where Republicans are. And I'll be glad to come back and talk to you about it once we've done that.
And I'm always happy to have you.
Does he not know that quote is a dig on how unorganized the Democratic Party is? I think they are organized. It's just not in the direction that benefits anybody. They're organized for the wrong things. Yeah. Oh, God. They will never do anything about anything, right? They have no incentive to. They have an infinite incentive to delay indefinitely. This is like a relatively simplified thing, a relatively simple point of contention that I have. But like, I do kind of hate that we had so much hope after Tuesday. And November 4 was 7 days ago. And in less than a fucking week, the Democrats decided to destroy all semblance of hope. Like it makes me so sad. We had it for a brief moment where people were like, damn, shit's kind of good. Like, do we have motion, twin? That's what it felt like. People were like, damn, we got motion, twin. We got freaking motion, twin. They were like, nope, no, we don't. Destroy the hope within your heart immediately. Destroy it. How dare you? How dare you feel a crumb of hope? How dare you feel emboldened? How dare you think a better future is possible? How dare you think the Democrats will fight for you? They will not. They will not fight for you. That's what it feels like. That's what they did. A victory. Surrender. It's time for surrender.
We're going to squander their hard-earned electoral victories.
And I guess the question next for both of you is, how will they squander it? How? How will they piss this away?
You know, the only thing I love more than seeing my face on TV is seeing it on a webcam with no filters. Talk about needing health care, my God. Is jaundice contagious? What the? But it's a fair question. How would Democrats piss this away? Apparently, they did it something like this. Acting. This is a world-class collapse. It would be like being up 10 points with 3 minutes left to go in a game and still finding a way to miraculously lose it for the 4th time in just 1 month. For those of you who don't follow the New York Football Giants, because let's say you value your time on this earth, this is a football team that on 3 separate occasions this season has blown games that, statistically speaking, based on their sizable leads vis-a-vis the amount of time left in the athletic contest, they had a 95 to 99% chance of winning. I refer you, for instance, to this win probability chart from Sunday's game against the Chicago Bears, where you can see the New York Giants' chance of victory climbs to 97% before they trip on their own dicks and fall down a flight of stairs. And again, I don't want to get too inside football here, but you're not supposed to do that. I have not had a good weekend. Now, for those of you who believe that professional sports and politics are an inept comparative, not only did the Democrats and Giants lose in the same, I can't fucking believe it, manner, they sound the same doing it.
It's natural and appropriate to feel deep disappointment.
Disappointing outcome.
It was not the result many of us wanted.
Want to get the results that you hoped for and came up short?
It never feels good to come up short.
We came up short, and that was a tough one.
You learn and you prepare to do better in the future.
You're always learning and trying to be better.
Well, not enough wins. Not enough wins.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest.
Inspired yet? So please, Democrats, I do not understand. Explain this to me like I eat with my feet. Why?
How do you explain, though, to your constituents why it was worth it to put up this fight for so long when in the end you did not get your key demand?
Because it wasn't working.
First of all, how are we being ruled by the only old people who don't stubbornly cling to shit whether it's working or not? That's the whole point of being an old person. What kind of an old person are you? Well, maybe it is time to give up my driver's license. I mean, to be fair, I am a menace. And second of all, it was working. Never has the gap between this administration and the people it claims to serve been so disgustingly visible than during this shutdown.
Yeah.
This week, while the Trump administration was at the Supreme Court demanding that the court let them withhold food stamps from hungry Americans, Trump himself was at Mar-a-Lago.
Nice shirt, though I wouldn't wear that in the street law. Wait, why? In China? Or do you mean in America? Because I have worn this in America. I don't think there's an issue wearing this in China at all. In Beijing, I mean. Sino-Soviet split. Deng still has shooters. Well, I mean, I won't be wearing it out and about, but I don't think that I don't think that people care about the Sino-Soviet split at this point. Cheesy in China. Well, I'm not going to be able to wear this out in the streets anyway because it's so fucking cold. So you don't have to worry about that. It is straight up. It's more like wearing I Love New York City in New York City. Oh, I don't care. Yeah, good. That's such a nerdy ass concern. Yeah, bro. Bro, I'm gonna be walking around like this, okay? I'm gonna be walking around like this. Dude. This is what I've been talking about. These gotta be bots, right? I've been seeing K-Hive out and fucking about, dude. I voted for Kamala Harris, so none of this is on my motherfucking hands. Is like, I've been seeing so much of this. People who hate Zoran, people who constantly blame like non-voters and stuff. And it's just like people who are unironically advocating for a world that doesn't exist. Like, I voted for Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. None of this nonsense is on me. Hampton University 2005, NUPE, Brooklyn-born, Bronx resident. I don't think these are bots. I think these are like real people, man. I think there is like a, come on, Hasan, goddamn white boy tourist Cinnaboo. Yeah, that's true. I am that, shameless. But like, is Def Boss noticing it spreading on Reddit as well? The combo started initially from a black conservative. I don't think it's bots. I think there is a HBCU contingency of like older black liberals that are like very firmly committed to like a centrist attitude. I don't like, maybe it sounds like it's a bot to me, but it just kind of feels like there is a real momentum in this flank. I don't think it exists in the real world necessarily. Like Ketanji Brown Jackson, no. I don't think Ketanji Brown Jackson represents this politics, this kind of politics at all. No. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Here, I'll give you an example. Hakeem Jeffries is nationally very unpopular, but Hakeem Jeffries in his district is very popular. Okay. So there are definitely a lot of people that just like, bro, the tweet is bar for bar their account bio. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's a bot, but I mean, it probably, I don't think it is. There are enough people all over the place just to pull up a real take or make people post based on which news you show them. Like, there is definitely an active, dare I say, outsized K-Hive presence on Twitter, for sure. Okay? Retweeting 2024 Pavlo tweets. Sounds like a typical Bernie bro. November 11, 2025. Hasan Piker viewership dropping off a clip, 40% down in 1 month. Used to like him when he was a standard Bernie guy, but then decided to go full tanky. He laughed about trying to defend an October 7th massacre. He's been evil maxing. I suspect this is why so many people just tuned out. Yeah, remember my career being over. It was crazy. Yeah, how did that work? How does the food in China compare to Panda Express? It's incredible. Food in China is great. Anyway, let's get back to this video.
From Hungary, demanding that the court let them withhold food stamps from hungry Americans. Trump himself was at Mar-a-Lago with an all-you-can-eat shrimp and synchronized swimming buffet, while the president of Argentina danced the night away.
I hope you fully understand the gravity of where you're going. Tiananmen is the center of Chinese socialism. It's like the Mecca for Muslims or Jerusalem for Jews. After today, you are no longer a fake socialist, and this is your baptism, says Top G yesterday, which is true. I bumped into what Hasan was talking about in the first 1 to 2 weeks prior to the Biden-Harris switch out. Like, people call me racist for demanding Harris replace Biden. I was more libbed up a year ago, but it was crazy. Harris wasn't great, but Biden would have lost us Minnesota and New Hampshire and worse. We would have a hole that would be insurmountable. Yes, he should have had Bernie in 2016 and 2020. I think a lot of liberals are reflecting on. I have a lot of confidence in liberals learning at least positive lessons from these sequence of electoral defeats. Okay, I have a lot of confidence that like liberals are radicalizing. They got Zin there.
In the $20 billion we recently gave his country. And I gotta say, for $20 billion, you'd think he'd dance better than...
Oh, Top G said that yesterday? Oh, yeah. I mean, I went to Tiananmen Square yesterday, and I'm going back again today. The beating heart of Chinese socialism.
Leprechaun jerking elephants. By the way, apologies to the elephant. I am not trying to disrespect. Probably an elephant watching that going like, who's, whoa. What kind of an elephant, Dick? Point is this, don't get distracted. Americans were finally seeing the gap between how Donald Trump bends reality and actual day-to-day reality. This shutdown has focused America's attention away from his gift for distraction and onto stark actualities and seeing through, many for the first time, his bald-faced lying.
Can you just answer that question that tariffs have led to inflation? They have led to living for most Americans.
Did you know that the former emperor of China became a janitor for the palace after the revolution? Yes, his name is Puyi, and he is a incredible example of rehabilitation, of course.
Inflation. We have no inflation.
Except that we have inflation. And normally, we have no inflation goes the way of, they're eating the cats and dogs, and I'm suing Rupert Murdoch because I'm not on the Epstein list, and all the other lies that Trump deploys in his reality distortion arsenal. But miracle of miracles during the shutdown. Oh my God. The old songs ain't hitting like they used to.
Oh my, show your
Football
face.
fans loudly booed as Trump was shown on the jump.
March is looking extra Asian right now because he put makeup on his face. Oh my God! Not to blow up your spot, but like
you did
blowing up your.
You did blow up my spot,
bro. You look good.
You look good. Okay, we need to break down.
The last thing that we should keep is no. I think just rip the camera.
Yep.
And then we'll just continue with the stream for now until you set up. You swap it to the bag, and then. We'll break down the bag, yeah.
On during halftime that the Lions and Commanders
March,
game.
you got quoted in Newsweek, except for the meme that you showed. Except they quoted Will. They thought you were Will Neff.
Oh, it was in Newsweek.
Yeah, it's in Newsweek. Everything that we're doing here is making Western news. They're trying to use it whatever they can to be like China is bad. Like they're just trying to actively do that. It's fucked up.
Do you know how unpopular you have to be booed by football fans while swearing in troops? And by the way, not just any football fans. Football fans who still use the term Redskins. And not even with respect to the team, just casually. This is what the Democrats have squandered. A country finally shaking off Trump's Jedi mind tricks and saying, no, these are the droids we're looking for. And instead of pressing that advantage, perhaps neutralizing Trump's reality distortion field for good, the Democrats just suddenly went, droids? I guess we aren't looking for those droids. But you'll help us find them later, right? They squandered their leverage, sapped their voters' enthusiasm, and snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
Oh!
And it's just too bad.
Okay, you got to pay me for that.
These leaders.
Okay, Johnny boy. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Ain't no way, big dog. Ain't no way. You can't be coming in here copying my flow bar for bar verbatim. Now, I didn't write that. I didn't write that quote. That's not my quote. I have been applying it quite a bit to the Democratic Party before the election, which turned out to be prophetic. Don't pretend you came up with it like it's an original thought. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. I didn't come up with that. Come on. But I've been using it nonstop to talk about the Democratic Party. And it works so perfect. It works so perfectly. Dems love snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. I even used it recently about the shutdown, before the shutdown actually ended. Defend IP in China. That's funny. Yeah, I can't be out here defending IP. I don't care about IP, as you guys know. Especially because, you know, these are, damn, Chatter has receipts. You stole it from me.
Let's see what else.
Shadow alive?
Okay, I see. Oh, you're
Can't tell if he's hiding or dead.
No, it looks like he failed the
You
jump.
really pulled
Jesus.
defeat from the jaws of victory there?
Put all my channel points on him.
That's
Live.
You pulled
All
really
right.
pulled
that's
defeat from the
a
jaws of
crazy
victory?
thing to
That's
do.
poetic.
Yeah.
First of all, that's not the first time I used that term, chatter. That's crazy. No. But hey, is our statement. It's ours. Let him have it. This is my moment, Shaq. Give me my moment. It's crazy. This is a Chinese chatter too. You see this? Last I checked, that chatter has a clip and you don't. What do you mean?
That we have on that side, and there's nothing that can be done about it.
This just in, the New York Giants have just fired head coach Brian Daboll.
So you're saying there's a chance?
What the hell did